The seizure could be the result of dehydration or something neurological.
Or the ecstasy you found in her system.
According to Dr. Hadley, the patient took the drugs about 5 hours before the seizure, so...
How does 13 know about it?
Apparently, she was with the patient last night.
At 3 a.m. Oh, yeah. Penthouse Forum meets medical mystery. Maybe there is a god. Empty, transient sex? I've been waiting for you to spiral out of control ever since you got your Huntington's diagnosis. But this is more than I dared hope for.
Patient's seizure resulted from dehydration, which resulted from a cocktail of alcohol and ecstasy. Mystery solved.
Wait, were you doing drugs?
Not diagnostically relevant.
That's what we're trying to diagnose. It's how steep of a spiral you're on.
Our patient hemorrhaged into her eye 2 years ago.
Also not diagnostically relevant. Retinal vein occlusion was fixed. Her doctor said it was a venous anomaly.
Is he in this room? Because if he's not, I don't care what he thinks. Unless he's a she and she was there last night too, in which case I care very deeply.
What if the eye problem wasn't with her vein, but with her blood? Would explain why she sees, why she's always tired.
She parties till 3 a.m. That's why she's always tired.
Yet you seem fine.
She's visited 4 other doctors in the past year. None of them found anything. She's a hypochondriac who drank too much.
Blood clots could explain everything.
Makes sense. Bone marrow's in overdrive, too many platelets. Sorry.
13. Go stick a needle in your girlfriend's pelvis. And no, that one wasn't a metaphor. Suck out some marrow. That one was. I like to watch.
I can handle this alone.
You've already handled it. That's why you need a chaperone. Of course, I'm a very permissive, understanding chaperone. So feel free to ignore me. You know, if you're in the mood to start kissing or groping or showering.
You'll have to excuse Dr. House. He mistakes immaturity for edginess.
You're Dr. House?
I assume my name came up last night in the form of a moan. You had sex, then a seizure. Could be a particular position or activity that set it off. It sounds like a valid medical theory, doesn't it?
I'm really sorry. Just ignore him.
Whatever you think we did, we did. And then some.
Lights on or off?
A medical rationalization for that one?
Light sensitivity.
On.
Huh. Figured you had more shame than that. Did she talk dirty or make you rely on vague hand signals?
She's pretty direct about what she wants.
I'm learning so much. Okay, score the score. Scale of 1 to 10.
Don't answer.
7.
Finally got one right.
Should have known it wasn't a coincidence. Found your letters. You recognize House's name, and you're the first patient I've seen who actually enjoyed being accosted by him.
I would have told you, but...
What exactly would you have told me? That you slept with me to get to House? That you've been trying to get him to take your case for over a year?
I'm sick. No one even wrote back.
You used me.
You used me.
My motives were clear.
You might have figured out my motives faster if you'd bothered to ask my name. I followed you to that bar because I wanted to talk to you. See if you'd help me get to House. I didn't expect you to be so aggressive.
Was that seizure even real?
Why would I fake a symptom? It would just make it harder for House to diagnose me.
There's nothing to diagnose. Your biopsy results were negative.
Then it's something else.
Get dressed. I'm discharging you.
House admitted me. He obviously thinks...
House is using you as an excuse to stick his nose in my personal life.
I'm tired all the time. Some nights I fall asleep at 10 and wake up at noon, still tired. Every doctor I see tells me there's nothing wrong.
And that proves what exactly? That they're wrong or that you're wrong? Come on, you expect me to believe? Sit back, deep breaths. Try and relax. Get the paddle, she's gonna crash. Damn. We had to use paddles to stabilize the patient's heart.
Eye issue, brain issue, now a heart issue. Sounds like a real case to me.
Yeah, I get it. I was wrong. Can we move on?
You were just upset because the whole time she was with you, she was thinking of my huge, throbbing diagnostic skills. Drugs would explain everything.
This morning you rejected drugs.
That's when I thought that 13 was right and I was just jerking her around. Cardiac arrest means she could be a serious user.
Great.
What?
That means that something she did at my place set this off. Either she brought drugs in or she grabbed something from my medicine cabinet, and that means my place needs to be searched. Now, I'd be happy to do that myself, but unfortunately that would be far less titillating for House, so he's about to come up with some convoluted medical reason why I have to stay here while he goes through my stuff.
Patient's dad had bypass surgery. She's a candidate for atherosclerosis. She needs an ultrasound. That was much less convoluted than what you just said.
I'm not giving you my keys. If you want to do this, I'm going.
Who could pick a lock?
I'll go. Make sure they don't steal any underwear.
Blood test confirms low potassium levels, explains the numbness in her hip. It's not good, but I think we've got time for at least 1 or 2 comments about my personal life.
Which you just wasted with that comment about my comments. Low potassium means her heart problem is a symptom of kidney problem. What caused the kidney problem?
Could be IgA nephropathy.
Not without blood in the urine.
PSAGN?
Not with normal blood pressure.
Renal tubular acidosis. Her kidneys don't filter acid out of the blood. Excess acid drives down potassium, causes kidney calcifications.
It's RTA. All she needs is sodium bicarbonate for the acid, and surgery will remove the calcifications. CT her kidneys. If you find calcifications, we have her diagnosis.
The breathing problem started after we fixed her kidney problem. Means the RTA isn't the underlying cause.
Where's 13?
Traffic's bad. She's probably just...
Not here.
It's not her lungs. No masses, no infiltrates.
Her lungs are working, but she still can't breathe.
Distribution plant can't distribute if it's not getting deliveries. If her lungs are fine, maybe the problem's in the supply line, airway collapse.
That could signal autoimmune or some kind of dystrophy as the underlying cause.
There's only one way to find out if her airway failed. Make it happen again. Stick 13's carpet cleaner on a treadmill. Methacholine challenge. And someone find the carpet.
I found her in the clinic, giving herself IV fluids.
At least you could have let her finish. She looks terrible.
She has a fresh nightclub stamp on her wrist. She's in no condition to practice.
Unless this is a prelude to an actual spanking, there's no reason for me to be...
I want her to take a drug test.
You can't make me do that.
But I can suspend you until you do.
Because she went to a nightclub in her free time? Or because she had sex in her free time? Patient was undergoing routine surgery for RTA. Didn't need 13 here for that. And I don't need you making my employees punch a clock or pee in a cup. Let's go. Come on.
Thank you.
By the way, the surgery was not routine. Patient stopped breathing, and you missed the differential. You're fired.
What? You just defended me.
No, I just prevented you from getting a drug test. Probably saved your career. But I'm already taking responsibility for one doctor with a drug habit.
I don't have a drug habit.
The slutty party girl is fun until she pukes on your shoes. And she's just a pain in the ass.
I heard.
Yeah. I'm looking for my ticket back.
Sorry if I upset you. I didn't want to invade your privacy.
It wasn't
but
your fault. Can you get me caught up?
I think you're gonna find something we did.
It's good for the patient. Good for me.
Films are clean. We ruled out hypertension. The guys have her on a treadmill running a methacholine challenge. And I still think you've been acting like an idiot.
I know. Did you talk about whether this lung field looks a little dark?
It's probably just overexposed.
Or her diaphragm's a little flat? Could be a sign of hyperinflation.
Suggests a pulmonary obstruction.
Lung cysts. They wouldn't show up on an x-ray. Treadmill test isn't gonna close her airway. It'll make her lungs explode.
Her throat's fine. We made her airway collapse, but it's not collapsed.
You ruptured a cyst. Her lung collapsed.
Breath sounds on both sides.
Move. Trachea's deviating to the left.
Nice.
Got a good pulse. Maintain head stabilization. Mic down, size ready. Go. So we're paramedics. Minimum showing you having a seizure. We have to break down the no damage. My count. 1, 2, 3, up. We'll take you to the hospital. I can't. No, I can't. No. No, I can't. Hey! Hey, buddy! Buddy, we're trying to help! Sir! Stay out of my house! You just had a seizure! You could have a stroke! A bleed in your brain! Leave me alone!
If you dated Cut, there would... Sorry, I get better reception when you're not here. What do you got?
His place is totally clean. No animals, no hidden drugs or alcohol, no lead in the paint.
And since you're not breathing hard, I assume you're not holding Cameron aloft in triumph, which means no seizures. Hey, speaking of breathing hard, Cameron.
You engaged his chase yet?
Sorry, we should have clarified. We're calling about the patient, not Dr. Cameron's love life.
We aren't engaged. Moves things along much faster to just give him the answers. Seizures can also be induced through...
After 6 years?
A year and a half. Through sleep deprivation or...
Sleep deprivation would take too long. You living together?
We spend most nights together. There's a bunch of drugs that can lower a seizure threshold.
And cloud the diagnosis with side effects. His place or yours?
His, usually.
Interesting.
You would have said interesting no matter what the answer.
And no matter what the answer, it would have been interesting.
No engagement? Commitment issues.
His place, control issues. Not sure whose, but interesting.
Yeah, it moves much faster this way.
Where was the patient when he had his first seizure?
In his entry hallway, getting his mail.
Getting close to the outdoors. Spooked him.
Raise his BP. Gonna use that fear.
Bring him outside.
He punched out a fireman. We're doctors, not bouncers.
Okay. So bring the outside to him. Floors, genuine wood.
Why are they here?
They overheard me announce the half-price bank foreclosure in the ER waiting room. Where's everybody?
Cameron's with the patient. Everybody else went home.
Because they don't need to be here. Neither do you. And yet you are. This way.
Molding's original?
Original? They were here before the house. The shut-in's also original. Come on, don't be shy.
House, get them out of here.
Easy for you to say. You're not going to be making some serious capital gains.
This is cruel.
And leaving him undiagnosed is what? Altruistic? Procedure worked. He's seizing. What do you see?
Normal theta. Normal delta. This isn't a seizure.
Something.
Mr. Rosick, are you okay?
My stomach's killing me.
See? It's something.
Partial small bowel obstruction.
Blockage explains the pain. What explains the blockage plus seizures?
Atrial fibrillation throwing emboli.
Crohn's causing an abscess?
Could be a million things. There's no way to know unless we get him in for an MRI on his head or exploratory surgery so we can biopsy his bowels, which you won't let us do.
Wouldn't. Pain changes things.
House. He told you to stay out of here.
He can chase me out once he's done doubling up in agony. Whatever your big problem is, it's caused a complication we call colon FOS. FO, full of. Since we're in mixed company, S is stool. Nothing's coming out. So the pain's gonna get worse and worse. So we need to stick a pooper scooper in you. We also need to take a look at your bowel.
I made my wishes clear.
Uh-huh. And if the crazy fairy were here, she could grant them.
I'm not insane. I feel pain when I go outside, so it's rational to avoid that pain.
Except now you're feeling pain inside.
Well, not as bad, nowhere near.
We can give him drugs for the blockage.
If it doesn't work, that blockage will rupture your intestines, spew sewage throughout your body. Whatever you're scared of out there, aren't you more scared of death?
You obviously can't stand people. But for me, it's worse, all right? I'd rather die in here than live out there.
you don't mind floppy hair and an annoying accent, I know a surgeon who'll operate in your home. Thank you.
With the risk of infection, Chase won't actually...
He's not gonna do surgery in some crazy dude's house.
You just said...
What I said was that Chase would put him under at the house, would take him to the hospital, open him up, do our thing, and slip him back into his room for the post-op without him ever finding out that we tricked him. Some of that was implied.
It's unethical.
He'll be asleep.
He gets to make his own calls, even if he's asleep.
Why are you siding with him? Oh, yeah, you're that girl who likes broken people because her husband died, and since Chase isn't all that broken...
Hey, why don't we operate on his infarcted leg while we're at it? Who cares if he said no?
I was risking my life to avoid becoming a cripple. He's doing it to avoid sunlight and fresh air.
We've got to make it look good.
I know I'm a pain in the ass. I know it would have been easy just to walk away, but you're a good person.
Count down from 10.
9, 8.
Let's go. What time are you done? I thought we could try that new sushi place next to my house.
Why don't we stay at my house tonight?
We always stay at mine.
Well, that's what I mean. We used to split it. What happened?
I don't know. Closer to work?
By 5 minutes. And my house doesn't look like it was decorated by a drunk rugby player.
Well, we can discuss it. I haven't really...
Why does it have to be a discussion? Can't you just stay over?
You do know they paged me when that much surgical equipment is signed out. He didn't consent.
He consented to the surgery. You think he's gonna sue over where?
He won't even know where. He'll wake up in his house. He won't know a thing about what happened.
Until he catches a post-surgical infection in his dirty apartment and finds out we tricked him and winds up owning the hospital.
Why aren't you arguing with her?
Because she's right. I don't care where he gets the post-op, just that he gets it. Keep him here.
House. You okay?
Yes. We don't need to talk.
Your hand.
Huh. It's weird. I usually don't get the stigmata until Easter.
Please tell Dr. Chase the patient's ready for him now. Stuart, wake up. It's Dr. Cameron. If you can hear me, blink. We were concerned for your safety, so we brought you to the hospital. No, it's okay.
Why?
No, it's okay.
Why?
I just wanted to keep you informed. I didn't want you to have a bad shock while you were recovering from surgery.
Get out of here.
It's okay, Stuart. Calm down. Calm down. Stuart. Stuart, I'm gonna sedate you. I'm gonna sedate you.
No!
Calm down. I need some help in here! Damn it! Somebody get in here!
What did you do?
Well done. Your patient called his lawyer, threatened to sue us, and is now heading home, completely undiagnosed.
He'll soon be on his way back. He's sick. He'll crash, he'll lose consciousness. I'll declare an emergency, bring him back in.
Not anymore, you won't. His lawyer now holds his healthcare proxy. The next time we have an emergency, Larry Rusekis, Esquire, will be calling the shots.
I made the right call. If he'd flipped out after major surgery, it would have been worse.
The benefit of being boss is that I don't have to argue. You're all off the case.
Any shortness of breath, tightness in your chest?
Feeling pretty good, actually.
Have you been breathing hard? O2 sats and lung capacity are still well within range.
Your cough's slipping down. You want to stop for a moment?
Rather not. Haven't had any exercise in 2 days.
Take it you don't get a lot of fat in your diet.
Take it from your tone, you think that's a bad thing.
Do you ever indulge?
There's more to life than indulging your every whim.
I didn't say every, but a whim every now and then can make life a little...
You okay? Trouble breathing?
No, I feel fine. Why?
No pulse. This isn't asthma. Moving into the... Whoa.
That's her stomach? It's the size of a shot glass.
Because our patient's a big, fat cheater.
Subtle. No way geniuses could have spotted this.
Gastric bypass surgery. She had her stomach stapled, then had the records from her files pulled so it wouldn't ruin their DVD sales.
Can you do this outside?
I could, but that would defeat the purpose of doing it here. Where are the smart guys?
If you mean Foreman and 13, apparently the first appointment of the drug trial is an all-day thing.
I said yes to this?
Her gastric bypass procedure could
Forget
cost...
the bypass. Treat her like a fat girl.
We treat her like a 60-year-old Asian man, too? She's not fat.
Not on the outside, but on the inside, she's still tons of fun.
When she was obese, she probably had type 2 diabetes. Could have left her with permanent nerve damage.
10 points for doing what I said, minus 10 points for doing it badly. If this was diabetes-induced nerve damage, would have kicked in years ago. Have you seen my balls? What's the poop?
It's gonna take about an hour to spin down the sample.
What are we looking for?
You don't know?
I'm doing my famous Socrates impression. I think I really nailed the accent.
High fat content indicates SIBO.
And what does fat do in water?
It floats.
What else floats in water? Correct answer is a duck. If it doesn't float, Kuttner missed the boat. Looks like I was wrong to dismiss apnea. You guys could stay up all night gloating in the sleep lab.
What about all that scar tissue around the implant? Could that be...
That amount of encapsulation is perfectly normal.
I gotta tell her something.
Tell her to find a decent plastic surgeon who can correct the placement of
Yeah, that's what she wants to hear. She's sick and she's lopsided.
Tell her it's a virus. It probably is, and it'll get her off your back for a few... That means EEG's flatlining.
Where would she have gone?
Hey, I looked for you guys in the control room, but you seem busy.
Get off there. Last time you exercised, you had a cardiac incident.
I feel fine.
You felt fine last time.
I only slept a couple hours, but I feel great. Can I get one of those machines?
You're running on a broken ankle.
It doesn't hurt.
And your leg is bleeding. You feel that?
What does that mean?
Measure the amount of time it'll take this electrical impulse to travel along your nerves.
Will it hurt?
No, give me your arm.
You can ask nicely.
I learned at med school you don't actually cure with kindness.
You're right. I'm a hypocrite. But I don't have a choice.
Not really interested in your rationalizations.
If I'm open about the gastric bypass, no one would listen to me anymore.
You mean no one would buy your DVDs?
It's not about the DVD sales. I'm helping people. My clients are making themselves healthy. They're living better lives. Can you honestly tell me you've never done anything hypocritical? I'm sure you had good reasons.
Give me your arm, please. Keep your arm raised.
Does this mean something is wrong with my nerves?
No. It's your muscles. We don't need to run this test. It's not what we thought. I brought some visitors. Cheer you up. It's okay. Come on in, guys.
We're all staying on your plan. Nobody's cheating.
That's great. You're on my arm.
We found out about your gastric bypass. How could you lie to us like that?
The doctors told you? You're really hurting my arm.
You're not the best you can be. You're a fraud. You're a self-hating fat person.
You're really hurting me.
Feel the burn.
is clean means you don't have CNS lymphoma.
What's next on the list?
Other types of brain tumors?
We stop at the cafeteria.
I can have something brought up for you. What do you want?
Chocolate cake.
You can't give up. We're gonna figure this out.
What am I supposed to be hoping for? That you find a brain tumor? What else could it be? You were so hard on me about lying. How about you take some of your own advice and tell me the truth? What's next on the list?
Prion disease.
And if that's what I got, how bad?
There are a few treatments, but there's no guarantee. I'm sorry.
And you won't let me have a piece of cake?
Cuddy wanted us to eliminate 7 different things.
Cuddy doesn't always get what she wants.
Bad idea to get into a power play with somebody who has the power.
You're fired. Just reinforcing your point.
Whatever personal drama you're playing out, you'd be a lot smarter to...
I thought you said she was sick. Sick people don't spontaneously get better.
Yes, they do. It's called an immune system.
Sick people who are sick enough to make it to me don't spontaneously get better. Not as pithy, but yeah, technically more accurate. What's the last thing you gave her?
I took her for an MRI looking for...
MRIs detect, they don't treat. What'd you give her after the MRI?
I didn't give her anything. She got depressed at the lack of direction. We went to the cafeteria for some chocolate cake, took her to her room, hung a banana bag, let her rest.
You gave her cake?
She asked for it, I figured.
You figured you'd let me play 20 questions instead of just telling me. Feeling crappy again? I brought your cure. I'll give you an IV of the stuff, but frosting fits to get stuck in a little tube.
Is this a joke?
It's not a joke, not a lie, not an attempt to defraud in any way. It's an actual licensed physician with an actual diagnosis. Hereditary coproporphyria. Your face is genetically blessed. Your body chemistry slightly less so. Doesn't make enough of a certain enzyme that I can't pronounce, but it's apparently important for your liver and everything else. Treatment is a high-carb diet rich in sugar. When you were a porker, you were self-medicating.
So this is treatable?
We just have to reverse your gastric bypass and get you back on a high-carb, glucose-enriched diet.
Best you can be is a lot more you. Open the hanger, here comes the plane.
There's nothing else you can try?
No. There's a drug that manages the symptoms, but it's not a cure.
Let's try that.
You don't want to have the surgery?
Understand. There's not many people who have the guts to admit they'd rather be pretty than healthy. Income's better and you get more action. I'll start you on your drug treatment right away.